Okay, so we did the benchmarking, and with the debugging I did at the end of the last episode, things look good. Production hit our 900 per minute. Well, it retained 1,000 per minute until it filled up the belts, and then it synchronized in at 900, and everybody set at 900, and we just got a whole bunch of science done. That looks good. So I started looking at doing the rail stations, and one thing I had not done is I'd never actually made a blueprint for entries and exits to the rail. And that needs to happen like that. And I think, yeah, I think that's as good as I can get it, because we can't put another one in here. If I wanted to break this block, I would need to have a wider stance. Now, if I take this, I'm not sure, but I might be able to yeah, I think that this will actually fit on top of one of those guys. I'd like to put them in between. The problem is that with them in between, this doesn't have quite enough space for two 1-4 trains in the middle. Or at least I don't think it does. But let's see if I can make it happen, because I would really like to have that much space. So have it merge before this and come off after this one. I'm going to do my planning in the next cell down. So the farthest to the left I can put this is there. And I think in this case, that would be suitable. And this appears to be my minimum signaling, and that's also suitable. So now we want to do the mirror image out at the other end. Actually, I can plan the mirror image over here. Where is it? Okay, so that's lining up in the middle of the power pole, and it's still allowing it. If I went one further, it wouldn't really signal it. So that would be that one and there. Now obviously we wouldn't have exactly this, not without rethinking the signaling on the middle there, but yeah, here we go. Okay, and now coming out, we would be here and here. In fact, I would want to have that. So basically when I put these things in, I'm going to need to put in, well, let's start off by putting the chain signals on the nuke stuff. And every time I place them, I'm going to add more signals by hand and adjust signaling by hand. That gives me some thing to work with. Now, if I pull up this much, go all the way out here, this is the edge of the cell, so this is where I want my trains to be coming out from our cell into the big world. Check the signaling here. Trains coming down, they don't get to enter this block until they can exit. So, boom, so he has to have room out here or out there. That makes sense. Let's pick up this. Now, between these two ends, the question is, do we have enough space in here? I think I fudged this a little bit. Yeah. sure we have as much space as possible. Okay. I am going to use chain signals here. What I really want is trains not to pull out of their stations until they can get all the way out. I'll put a chain station there because I might. So if I have that train's as far to the right as it can be, and I can actually put a chain signal there. Now, I would need a normal signal there, and with a normal signal there, the next one back. Oh, I have room. I have room. Would be here. Yes. Okay, and chain signal before entering. This will be a kind of a let's see, 1, 2. So maybe there. So in theory, I could back this up. So if I back this up by 2, 1, 2, leave a little bit of space between my trains. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So that fits. And that actually gives me a nice entry point, exit point. So each one of these, this is only a 1-3, so my trains don't quite fit between the power lines, which means that we'll never get a tight packing on our rails, but that's okay. This means that we're going to have them on the average spaced out by 2. That's good. But that also means that I have more than enough space from here to fit. And once I get to here, I can go, if I get to here, I've got more than enough space from here to here for a train, and so on. So this is good stuff. Okay, so as long as I am blueprinting, let's catch a blueprint of entry station, which includes the power on the left and the power on the right, down through a little bit here. Actually, this is from rail to station, so I'm going to say rail to station. So this is rail. This is a off ramp. And from this side, yeah, let's catch that much of it. This is an on-ramp. So this is station to rail. And if I'm doing everything based on this 30-cell grid, then having these stations include their power and their signaling is a good idea. So just to review, there's our on-ramp. So wait here until we can pass that or that. And here, wait here until I can pass that. Wait here until I can pass that. So trains can come in and start to make their turn, but they can't complete the turn. That's okay. So now we've got this train station down here. Let's actually blueprint out the unloading area. I'm going to rip up all of this stuff because I'm going to lay it back down again better. So my biggest stations are going to be like this, where we are offloading a belt from each car. And I will include back through this splitter, but I won't make any presumptions about what happens after the splitter. But I am going to include, let's include all the way out to here. And I can edit this. I am not including this. Do I want to include this? No, because I'm going to be replicating this north and south. So grab from there, down through there. And what do we want to get rid of? We don't need those, or those, or those. We don't need any of this. Let's include the straights, but not the curves. So what does that look like now? We do not want to include that because that's the responsibility of the surrounding area. We have these straight on throughs, so we can tile this across. We are not going to presume anything at all about the delivery after the boxes. In fact, I'm not going to even presume that we are putting it through boxes. We're just going to take these four and run them through the merge. And if we're not merging, I'm going to assume that we're going to merge. If we're not merging, I will remove this once we place the station. Also, if we want to place a station that's only got one output, we can prune as necessary. We will need to adjust the fuel delivery. That's not something I had thought of. Yeah, I'll place this down and we'll make a tileable one that has fuel delivery tiled. I will need a variant of this that's this high, and then a variant of it that's tighter for when we need many stations in a row that are very slim. So the first thing I notice is that what I picked up had the station back by one. So let's adjust that. We'll add in this stuff later. Right now I just want to get the station set up. Okay. So there's the station. Power delivery is somebody else's problem at the moment. And there is my tileability, like that. So now I want to do something similar, but for a station that doesn't require quite so much space. Let's put it down a ways. This is going to be a station that only requires like that much. This will be useful for when I'm peeling off stuff from cars. And in this case, it's very much going to be a customized build of what goes where as I go up. Whoops. That's bad. I wasn't supposed to do that. This station needs to have a different name. I'm glad he didn't unload. There. And here to here. Now these stations are probably just going to be 1-1 trains when they get down here. So let's get rid of him. Okay, so we're starting to build up our blueprints. So first off, we have the 90-degree turn. And this guy we got rid of. We've got on-ramp. Just curve. So curve and on-ramp and off-ramp. And this we are going to choose new contents. And this will not include this, but it will include these guys down through here and down through there. This is a unload 1-4. Actually, let's make this TS 1-4 unload. If I start making these more standard names, maybe they will sort nicely. So this is this will be rail to station 1-4. I'll use rail station for unload and station rail for load. Oh, and I really don't want to be messing with that stuff. Let's put this down here. And now we got another station down here. Oh, again. Again, you've got me. I want to include the curve and the straights down through here. Whoops, did not mean to use Control X for that. And this is a, let's call this, let's use this for unloading 1-2s. 1-1 and 1-2. Yeah, my convention on the length of the train is going to be weird because this is not conventional on the train, this is conventional on this. So, well, my convention, there's rail to station. How about 1 star? Can I do that? 1 star? Yeah. This is a TS 1-star unload. Okay, so I don't have any loading stations that I want to do yet. We'll work that out when I get to where I am building the stuff that we're exporting via train. So now, what do I need for my current build? I have a whole bunch of parts here, all of which are coming in on infinite supply. I believe I had this planned out, but I don't recall. So we are going to Control N, hit my max rate calculator. Oh, the other thing was I wanted to move it so that this was maximum distances. And only maximum distance of this guy. So yeah, we're going to bring the whole thing down somewhat. Which means that all of my test stuff is going to stop working. It's fine. So we will Control X this much. And we need to bring it up until there. I thought I hit Control X there. Okay, so try this again. Control X. I always hit Control C by mistake. Control X this. There we go. And that. And that is very quickly going to overload my inventory. So let's get that built. Nobody can build because they're busy. Okay. So we clearly need to put some things in chests here for the moment. Doing this with that set is kind of crazy. What else? Turn that off, and now I can dump rail. There. I probably should have emptied my inventory before I started this. Okay, so logistics off, so it's not going to be dumping everything. So there's going to be a bunch of raw materials here that I really don't want. Let's see if we can identify those and just dump them. So steel and red chips and bricks. Rails. Let's put all the rails in one place. In fact, let's put all the everything in one place. There's several ways of doing this. There's several good ways of doing this, and there's several bad ways of doing this, and I was doing it a bad way. Going to do is we're going to dump a bunch of stuff in the Spidertron. go back to base and let the base put it all together for us. So all of our infinite supply things here are going to be disabled because they were placed by bots instead of by me. We'll just have to deal with that. That's okay. We will replace them, or maybe we'll just leave them as they are as markers until I get my station set up. So everything is placed. We're ready to go, and now let's clear out our inventory here real quick. Let's take the Spidertron back to base. Okay. So I do need a box here to put things in. So now ask it to give me back just what I want. See, let the bots in the main base sort through all of that extra crap. I believe in full employment for logistic robots. So did I leave anything in his... Yeah, he's got a bunch of stuff in his logistics. So let's sort it out. Easy way to do that is to take him and go outside of any logistics area. And now I can drop some boxes and store my stuff in the boxes. Grab all of his stuff and put it back in his trunk so that sorts it out nicely. There we go. And now I turn on my logistics, everybody's happy, and everything in his stuff is happy. And while Spidertrons are cool, I'm not needing him at the moment. Back to packs. So are you ready to start building our station here? I think so. I think this is all copacetic. We don't need to be running this infinitely fast right now. do need is a notion of what are our big guys. So we are making rail locally. We are making these locally. Frick. Inputs. 1.7 stone, 1.4 steel. So stone and steel coming in on 4s. Start with that. Off ramp here. And on ramp here. I want my first station just below there. So this is going to be a 1-4. And I cannot go there, so let's put it there. You know what? With those signals like that, this close signal is really unimportant. And that signal should never have existed. Okay, so there's that station. And I need to have a second one. Now the stone brick was the third thing. It's going to be half a blue belt. Oh, that's half a wagon a minute. I think I'm going to bring that one in on a 4 train as well. So we can grab that whole thing and put it here and not have to do cleanup work at the edge. All 3 of these are for purple science, so let's start making these look right. So for purple, like that. Okay, and now we need smaller trains for iron plate and advanced circuits and electronic circuits. Okay, and now all these are set. So we've got 6 stops that are all something for purple science. And I could put in a pack stop, but I'm not going to. If I find myself frequently visiting these guys, what I'll do is I'll set up some sort of fast way to get from the train station down here. Okay, and there's something that was blueprinted up here that I can get rid of. Yes, there was. Are we tidy? We are tidy. So now, these guys like that. So there's our 3 outputs from our smaller trains. And there's 1, 2, and 3. There's our outputs from our bigger trains. Power. We need to cover at least there and upwards. So if we put it exactly on a line with this guy, we can go how far up before we... So this is as far up as we could go. But I'm thinking that we want to do it in 2 steps. So here would cover. And that would put us here. That's kind of unfortunate. Can I put it one up from there, or one down from there, or something? Oh, this whole area, because of these signals, is going to be a no-go land. Okay. Oh, but I don't need to. Okay, so I just need to cover these guys at this level. So put 1 here, and 1 here. Ha 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 ha. And that would put the last one here. Let's cheat it over by 1. Then we need something covering the rest of this, and I'm perfectly okay with putting this halfway. So now it's a matter of identifying what these are and meeting them up with where they're going down below. Problem is that in terms of belts, we are pulling 2 belts of steel plate, 2.2 belts. So we're actually pulling 3 belts of steel plate out. So if this is steel at the top, we need to be getting more steel than we're showing here. Let's start off with steel then. In fact, let's start off with steel here. So steel, 2.2 belts. That sounds a lot like I'm going to be needing 4 belts. Somehow prioritized across. Oh, 2.2. Where's the steel going? It's going here and here and here. Oh, and here and here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those 3 together require 2 belts. So 2 belts of steel for that half, and 1 belt of steel over there. That's exactly 3 belts. Okay, so I can consume 3 belts with this stuff. I just don't need it for 90 per minute. Okay, so let's do it based on consumption. I need 3 belts of steel consumed. Yeah, let's bring the bulk stuff down farther to the left. So, this guy is steel. So from these 4, I want a total of 3. So much like a manifold coming out, we're going to pack it down to the left as we come in, like that. And in fact, each one of these can come out with a full set. So the problem is we are not going to be balanced here. What we need is a 4-to-3 balancer that fits inside this line, and those don't, I think, exist. But I would like to balance it out somewhat. That would do it. And I would just need a 4-to-3 balancer out there. Oh, can I design a 4-to-3 inline balancer? I've never been able to do that in the past. Let's see if I've got a blueprint. So Rainquist, do you have a nice 4-to-3? Yes, you do, and it doesn't constrain itself to be within the boundaries, but we can do this. So instead, I'm going to just bring you down. Like that. So, what's my easiest way to get this together? Like this? Yeah. Balance it or prioritize it? Well, we're back to the same prioritization thing. We're prioritizing into 3 lanes. We could do that in line, can't we? Oh, no, but if I prioritize it like that, I will not drain the carts evenly. Okay. I don't think I can get away from this. I have to balance the input or it's just not going to work. So where'd Rainquist go? And I need 4-3. Thank you, Mr. Rainquist. Should I move that as far to the right as possible? I think I should. going to be tricky. If I'm doing this, yeah, one to the left. Okay. So that has steel. Let's mark it so I don't forget. And these are going to be something else. Don't know what yet. So the next biggest thing after steel in terms of wagons per minute is, well, even bigger than that is stone. And stone is going to be 2 belts of stone. This actually already gets us 2 belts of stone naturally. It just gets us down too low where we can't actually get it out. Let's see. There's our 2 belts of stone. Could do that. Could do it differently. So if we do that, okay, so we're going to just do a 4 to 2, really easy, boom, boom, done, splitter, and this is stone. And the other one was brick. Oh, of course it was brick. And the total brick we needed was 1 belt of bricks, so we are fine. Okay, there's brick. Right. And the other 3 are pretty arbitrary. Green chips and red chips and iron. Is there an order that was more interesting to have them in? Red chips we need at both ends. Iron we need in the middle. Green chips are at the far left and they come down. And red chips, so red and green at the far left. So let's take red at the farthest left. So here's red. No, it's green that goes the farthest down. So green, and then red, and then iron. So this is going to be green. Wish there was a faster way to do this. Did I get a space in there? Yep, okay. And this guy's red. And iron. And all these should be set to have a train limit of 2. And they'll have the 2 trains that they own. So let's start laying those out. Fuel. I forgot to put in the fuel train. So all of this gets pulled down somewhere convenient. And we have another 1-star station. Which is just like him, but is fuel for purple. Rocket fuel. Where's rocket fuel again? There we go. Now, this guy's different because he actually provides the rocket fuel. And we see now that I need to rethink my power just a little bit. So if I bring this north by 1, that covers. And let's see. Cargo wagon, like that. And he is going to say, pick up there, wait for full and inactivity, and then this is going to be there it is, rocket fuel for purple, empty cargo, and inactivity. Now he can't go quite yet because he needs some fuel. That should be enough. There we go. Okay, so he just dumped a load of fuel and it is already dispersed. And he can go get some more because one wagon of fuel is not a lot. It only stacks to 10. And these, oh, did I remember to limit these? Yes, I did. Okay, so there's going to be 3 stacks in the train and 3 stacks out here. And now we can I do have enough cars to do this. I don't think I have enough to make the second one, though. So, automatic train painter gave him his color. Oh, the other thing I need to do is I need to make sure that I build supply stations for each one of these things. And the normal way is to have it right here for now. I can actually derive the supply train name from these guys. Use colors on these so I can see which ones I haven't set yet. There. One of these should show 2. Good. And the top one, I haven't marked his station yet because he is brick. trim off. Hold on. I thought I just fixed him. On brick. There. So now if I change his name to just brick, I see if there's only the one brick station, I need to build brick. And I need to build a stone. And I have a steel source, so I do not need to build a steel source. I can put iron back in. I have an iron source. I do not have a red source yet. And I do have a green source. So I need to build 3 stations that have infinite sources of stuff. But now I should be able to set the trains up. Okay, so this is at the Brick for Purple Science Station. So he will be returning to Brick for Purple. I wish the closest ones were at top. Well, he's got to be picking up at Brick. Full cargo, inactivity, and Brick for Purple Science. Here it is. Empty cargo and inactivity. And he will give a no path because, yeah, there's no path. This guy is stone. So, find stone. Here. Full cargo and inactivity. And then stone for purple. Empty cargo and inactivity. And he can't find any stone yet. This will be steel. Steel, and we want to say full cargo and inactivity, and steel for purple, empty cargo and inactivity, and he can't find a path. That's because the steel station is down here, which is not shared up above. So I'm going to have to build a steel station. Putting it up here will remind me as I go through them to assure that I build one. Next one is iron plate. Again, iron plate. And this is going to be the same thing, because the resources for the satellites down here are not yet spliced up above. And they won't be until I get all the way down to the right. And iron for purple is where we are headed. Come on, man, iron for purple. There it is. Empty cargo. And again, I need to build an iron station. I'm not actually likely to forget because the fact that the trains are sitting there no pathing will tell me. So red chips. And red for purple. There it is. Empty. And inactivity. Boy, I'm not getting anything done here. And the next guy is green chips. Well, we could put in the green for purple, I just saw it. This is going to be empty cargo and inactivity. And then green chips, we can't get there, so it's going to be full cargo and activity. Okay, so basically, all the things we require for purple science we didn't have on the bus previously. We didn't have on this particular rail area. So I'm going to copy this with the train stop names to act as my build record. And make my way over to where we're putting in the infinite supply stations. I probably should just lay them out like that. Also, because I will be adding things randomly, let's go ahead and make these support the 4 trains. And we'll make sure that we always have a blank station at the bottom. I must have gotten rid of my matter sources. Yes, I did. I left them up at the other station, at the main base. So we're going to build some more matter sources. Blank station won't have matter sources because I always have to place them by hand. I'm going to put a question mark here, so I need to remember to fill in the source when I do that. Let's not do that. Oh, I don't have any rail with me. Interesting. Okay, so now this is just a matter of duplicating the blank station down. Okay, so yeah, have to be careful that I don't stomp on rails like that. Okay, so I need to come back with a lot of rail. And a lot of that. Okay, so I basically need to come back with a full load of stuff for the normal set of stuff. We're done. We're done. We have our stuff. Back to PAX research. Okay, another load of rails. This is ghosted, but I'm not building it. Interesting. Okay. So let's see. Our first thing we need to build is bricks. So we go here. This guy will be brick. Brick. Here. There's brick. So we want to load this up. So we want just the trains and the train fuel. And I'm going to put him out here. that's got brick. Next one is stone. Well, that makes sense. I guess I didn't have enough fuel. There. That's enough. There's stone and steel. Let's actually do the station name last so I don't get hit by a steel train this time. There we go, and he starts to pull out. The next one is iron plate. Plate, and he's on his way. Oh, and which ones? I think I didn't do the steel yet. Duplicate the steel train. Duplicate the iron train. Does take a little bit to fill with these, but I don't mind. I'm running 2 trains for the testing stuff, and this also means that if my actual factories are running only 4 belts of that stuff, we're good. If we're trying to dummy up inputs that are more than 4 belts, we're going to have to do something special, like have more stations, or maybe those stations I will have to have faster filling. And the last one is red chips. Oops, red chips. It's another good reason to set these up off to the side before putting them in place, is so I don't have the wrong kind of thing ever. We're not fueling in this area. That was on purpose. Whoops. You need that. What happened to his schedule? That's odd because he needs to go to red and then red for purple. I must have fumbled a click somewhere. And red chips for purple, empty cargo, and inactivity. He'll be back. This should be red chips. That was weird. Oh, right, I hadn't. Right. I may have added an extra train here. I don't know. Okay, yeah, these are... Yeah, there we go. So when he's done filling up, I should be back at the other area, and there should be 2 trains stacked up for each guy. Okay, so what have we got here? We still have no path for green chips. So I didn't build green chips on the left. I should have, so I need to go back and do that. But we've got 2 bricks and 2 stone and 2 steel and 2 iron and 2 red. We just need another green off to the left. I'm gonna hop one of these trains back real quick. You take me there. So I need to add a station for green chips. Okay, so green and green, and we put that in there. And now this guy is green chips, and there are 3 that want green chips. We're going to need the 4th one. So we're going to have to duplicate the train that's pulling in now. Okay, wait till we get back for this one too. Whoops. We need a lot of grain chips, I guess. Or I goofed on the schedule. schedule says full and 5 seconds. It says empty and 5 seconds. There we go. And I will need to fix the schedule on the other train when it gets back. Yeah, I gotta watch out for that. It's a great way to get very confused. And we only need this one train here because we never really, it doesn't matter how long it takes for him to go get fuel, we won't run out. So we have our materials coming in and we have our materials being used. Now we just need to join them up. First of all, let's see. The hardest thing is going to be the steel, because we needed 1 steel to the right and 2 steel off to the left. So these two together split some steel. What I'm going to do is get rid of these. These are the infinite sources that were never reactivated. I'll just move the undergrounds up as necessary. Whoops. Bad place to do that. And in fact, let's X3 there. So that needs one of the lanes of steel. Kind of arbitrary. If it doesn't work, we'll figure it out later. And now over here, we need all 3 of these steel coming from 2. And I think the way I'm going to do this is have a split like this. These are going to be prioritized out. There. And now both these lanes go up. And come over from here. Okay, there's my steel. Next big one is stone, which looks like it's just these 3 stone, and I'm going to have something very similar. I would love to have it just like that. Yeah, let's do that. Boom, right like that. across that guy, and over, and down. Let's check quantity here real quick. This is going to be using 1.5 belts of stone, check, and 2 belts of steel, check. And brick. We need some brick over here. We need some brick over there. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that is over there. That's not supposed to be there, right? Okay. So this steel shares this steel source. And this is supposed to go away, and I forgot to do that. There we go. There. Yeah, yep. Yeah, I'd forgotten that I had split my furnaces, and I pulled it over to the left, and I forgot to get rid of the one on the right. Boom. Okay, so brick. I believe brick is just there and there. Okay, so brick. Brick is actually coming down here. Let's just bring it straight down and see where we go. Yeah. Okay, so we can turn this around. Okay. There's the brick. So there's all the big stuff. We still have, let's see, red chips go to both ends and the left, and let's carve off the ones we have filled. So we still need to get red chips in on the right and left. We have stone, we have steel, and we have to get iron in. We have stone and steel. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and just... I may Control X, Control V to move things around in the future. So red, boom, boom, and down there. Down here, we're going to need half a belt of each one of those plus. So most of it goes down. So what we're going to do is going to bring green down and to the left, and the red we're going to bring down and let it go to the left as it wants to. So first red, and we're out of belt. Sure, why not? Pull him across. I'm going to swap these two. Just need to pull out the bricks here. Oh, come on, Greg. Be smarter than that. He's gonna be brick, and he's gonna be red. I'm not swapping the two. Right. I'm swapping them over here. My red bricks through. This is the red brick down. Green brick comes through here and jumps over and heads out that way. The last remaining thing is the iron, which needs to come back out and up through here. So now I just need to go back and get a whole bunch of belts. Oh, I need to run these. Right. Green and red can be in any order. Let's say there. Okay, anything else that I can turn into belts instead of undergrounds, so I can look at how to make the undergrounds better. looking for is rows where there's just belts like this, where I could compress the whole thing vertically if I wanted. I will think later on whether I want to do that or not. It doesn't give me any UPS benefit or resource benefit or anything. Marginal cost of making belts is 0 for all practical purposes. Yeah, I think this is good. We just need to hop on packs and get ourselves back to the main base. Packs Mall. Okay, we have refilled with all of our junk. I think I'm going to go ahead and increase to 1,000 belts. And 250 undergrounds. Because you never know. I think other than that, we're good. And let's get this filled in. This should come online and start ramping up production again. Now we are still set up to run here. We should be stalled at this point because we didn't have any science. Yeah, there's our 10 hour. So this has taken a couple hours of game time with all of these fits and starts and clearing things out and going back in. And look at the yield on the purple. That's going to be high until we have drained our backlogs and got everybody going. I didn't set up any buffers for our inputs. So we stopped producing. Oh goodness, yeah, especially for steel. So that's number one thing found with testing, is that we need to, well, first of all, I can get rid of all of these identification things. We can turn those into buffers. So let's put those out and put these out. Oh, how much do we want to buffer? Start off by buffering one row. I don't know. I didn't do any computations at all. And we need power for this. That's fine. So why is this not dumping out here? Hello? Oh, that's too bad. Okay, that's why we test. So we take these buffers and we stomp them in the other things. And see, for steel, what I'm going to want to be able to buffer up is a train's worth. No? rows of each. This is going to be a big buffer, and I will recompute this later on based on how much we need, maybe 5-minute supply or something. I think in the other stations I was buffering before the splitter, before the merge, which makes some sense. I can't do it here. Well, no, I can't do it here. But I could move that down. There. So we're going to have a buffer per card in this case. And we're going to draw evenly from them. And let's just let steel go wild. And move the other buffers up as well. Stuff that we don't want to carry with us. Green chips. And iron. And steel. Turn this off. That's one way to recycle. Ah! Killed by a cargo wagon. And deposit my stuff in the shame. And there's my, this is only the first time I've died in this base. This is the original starter base that I have done nothing with. Just left it. Okay, and this power station, I shut that down for good reason. I didn't pick it up because it was still doing stuff. I wanted to empty it out rather than have it in my inventory, and then I left it. I'm just going to leave that part of the base there because I had forgotten about it. And it's kind of cool to go back and say, oh, yeah. Okay, so, hey, come and get me. So I died right up here by the steel train. Let's go back to game speed 1. And I can put iron back in the iron train. And green chips back in the green chip train. And red chips back in the red chip train. That's a smart way to do it. So we've recovered our stuff. We have put some buffer chests in where we are merging. We're putting the buffer chests before the merge. And we have a situation down there. And apparently we're not bringing in brick fast enough. Or, there we go. So the idea is that we should actually be able to sustain our output. But if we're using an entire belt, our problem is that we're using it as fast as we can unload it when we don't have buffers out here. And I need to be able to load into the chest faster than we're using it. And we're not. So we need to have 2 lines of stone coming down from above. Let's work out how to do this a little better. If I do this, I can bring it out and down. No, that's still ugly. So I want a buffer. I'd really like to have a buffer on each wagon if I could. Even just buffering on that is enough. Hold on. What if that is my setup? And I limit each one of those to one row. And now we just have to merge all four of those together in a way that's sort of fair. In this case, we're doing merge down to 2 and then out down below. I'm going to do something similar here, I think. Can I? Let's see, maybe I can. If I do that, and I make the other one go the other way, and then I merge upward, that works. And this I think I can make it meet up with the existing verticals, but I can make it work. I can make the right one meet up with the vertical. So is there any way I could pull this over? Probably. So now we can load it into these boxes at blue belt rates and take it out at half blue belt rates and have a nice buffer. Okay. And steel is not coming down. No, this isn't come down. There we go. There's brick. Notice how this is just stop and start, as these gulp down massive quantities of stone. So how are we doing on the 10-minute? So we are now producing at 1K, and we're starting to consume again. Okay. So that's something I have to remember, is that I need to buffer before we reduce the number of lanes, or I end up with not being able to get extra into the buffer and not having any margin to send trains out for more stuff. So I let this putter around for a bit, and we have stopped producing. And why we have stopped producing is that we have stopped getting red because there's green on our red stuff. And it could be this guy wasn't producing before, and we just had a lot of leftovers. But there we go. And this also, this also has green on the red. So is there any place I could have gotten green on the red belt? Green up here. Looks good. Okay, so I must have just messed something up in one time in one place. Yeah. Let this go for a little bit and see if it... I'm not seeing gaps. This is the area I'm really looking at right in here. The big long vertical section. I'm looking for any gaps in supply. The belts in that region should remain backed up. Yeah, that looks better when I don't have that corner tagged in. Yeah, okay, that works better. So while I'm waiting for this to come to homeostasis, I want to run down and find out what's going on with those bots. These bots have stuff to deliver and no place to deliver to. How about that? Do I have any yellow on me? Yes, I do. There. Okay. So my rockets are firing off in pairs. So we're running at about 5 to 1. Let's actually set it to 5. So this should be 300 UPS. So if I'm doing 1 rocket each minute, then 2 minutes is 120 seconds, and at 5 to 1, that's every 24 seconds I should be launching a pair. And they will be synchronized because the launch is going to be blocked until this gets down below 4,000. And I think I want to stagger them by launching the top one. I think I got down below 5,000. not sure if that's the right number. So it looks like this has the potential for launching twice. Yeah, I'm not sure what my threshold should be to get them to be half and half. Just back to 4,000, they just launched together. Let's take a look at 4,500. Okay, so they will launch up, and that moves up to over 5,000. Down to 4,500, one of them will launch, which will put us back into 5,500. The other one won't launch until we get back down to 4,000 again. So we're already cycling the top one before the bottom one's ready to go, so I'm wondering, 4,100. I want it to be enough so that this guy launches and he gets his science out before the other guy launches. 2 top triggers. Okay, I'm gonna need at least 4,300. Goes and he dumps, and the other one doesn't go yet. Yes, that's what I wanted. And then when we get down to here, is he going to get the second one going to go for the first interiors? Oh, that's too bad. Okay, I can't get him to alternate just by fiddling around with this number. Yeah, I would have to do more complicated logic to pick one and then pick the other. And if I was going to do that, you'd pick one and then you'd wait for it to provide the science, and then you pick the other. So, let's see, one flies and it dumps 1,000 science into a output area. So I fly if my output area is empty and the other guy has 1,000. when I do that, I start filling my output area, and his output area is allowed to empty. I'll think about that. That would make a cute little logic puzzle. But having them both go at the same time is not too bad. Okay, there we go. And what are we doing here? It looks like we have... Yeah, let's let this run at x100. Well, let's see, we're getting 240 at speed 5. At speed 100, it's not going to get a whole lot faster. Yeah, take a look at our debug here. So, average, minimum, maximum. So, total update time is 2 point something. Yeah, that works. Game update is 0.3 out of the 1.4. So we should actually be able to get over 2,000 out of this as it stands if we weren't doing something. And that something, if we look down here, is creative mod, which takes between 1.1 and 1.2 and 1.3, so call it 1.2 milliseconds per frame just to run creative mod. So creative mod is great in that it gives us a way of measuring that we can get the right number of science per 60 updates, but it doesn't at all give us a fair way of measuring this. I can watch our game update time here and kind of average this out. I wish this would freeze the number. I can take a snapshot at it, but what I want is over the course of half an hour, what was my average game update time? I am going to check really quick and see if there's a way of changing that. Let's see, factorial, debug, game update time average. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of debug stats, and let's see. There's forums.factorial debug mode. There's a debug mode in the wiki. Let's pull that up. Let's see, show time usage. Apparently the interval can be changed with perf-avg-frames. And 60. So that's not slowing it down by much. So that's got it slowing down. So that's 600,000. Let's go 6 million. Okay, so let's get out to the middle of nowhere where nothing's happening. I'm going to zoom all the way in, so I'm looking at my toes. So this is 2.3, 2.4. Yeah, even setting this really high, it doesn't seem to be doing anything. So game speed 1. Took a while for that to ramp down. Perf average frames 3600. Yeah, this may be something where we can't go with a huge number of perf average frames. But if we slow the game back down to X1, we should be able to read off the numbers fairly easily. So game update is sitting at just under a millisecond for all of that stuff. Entity update is the hard one at half a millisecond, so that would... Hello, greetings. Pretty good. Let me stop recording this.